Hey everyone, today I'm going to do a video on potty training and potty training tips. May I just say that potty training is one of my most dreaded things. I still remember when my first son was born, and it was probably the day after he was born, just looking at him and thinking, oh no, I've got to potty train this kid someday. It is not my favorite thing. It can be very messy and just a whole lot of work, but we are in the middle of potty training our third child now, who is our second son. And so while this is all fresh on my mind, I want to just give you guys a few tips that I have learned that help with this fun potty training journey. So tip number one, and I can't emphasize this one enough, is to wait until they're ready. And sometimes it's hard if you've never potty trained before to know if they're ready or not. A couple of good clues to them being ready is that they are staying dry for certain periods of time, or that they will tell you as soon as they've pooped in their diaper. They know, please change me, or they'll tell you when they've peed, or those are just a few ways that you might know that they are ready. But it is hard to know, and sometimes you just have to try if you think they are, and hopefully early on you'll realize that they're not ready. And I'll touch on that later on to know when to wait a bit longer. So with my oldest son, we started potty training him soon after he was 2. We could tell very quickly he wasn't ready. Around 2.5, I thought, you need to be potty trained. I really thought he was ready, and so we tried. Looking back now, I see that he wasn't really ready because it took a long time to potty train him. I would get him to sit on the potty. He would sit for probably 45 minutes, and I would read book after book after book to him, and finally he would release and pee. But he wasn't really controlling that, and he wasn't really like on demand feeling, okay, I have to pee, and going. It was just that he would sit there and eventually he would pee. So then after he went, we would go and play for a while, maybe half an hour longer or an hour longer, and okay, let's go sit on the potty again. And again, it would take him those 45 minutes before he would eventually pee, but he didn't really have the control over it. It was mostly just me bringing him to the washroom so often that the pee would go in the toilet instead of in his underwear. So early on, they should be able to pee on demand. Tip number 2 is plan ahead. Let your child know ahead of time what is going to be coming up. We did this with Simeon, who we are potty training right now. We told him, we just got over a Christmas break, and we knew over Christmas that he was about ready to be trained. So we told him, after Christmas, you're going to start going on the potty. We have had a potty out for a couple of months now, and it is just out, so he sees it. So when I say to him, if he's pooped in his diaper, and I say, oh, Simeon, this should go in the potty, he's very aware of where the potty is and that he could be using it. We've kind of done it for fun a few times, so he understands what's coming up. We've told him you're going to be wearing underwear. We got underwear for him. Just kind of letting him know what is coming up to kind of mentally prepare for this big change. Tip number 3 is no more diapers, and this is a hard one to just... Okay, we're straight on underwear. Now, my kids for sure would have diapers for a good while after being potty trained. They'd still have a diaper at their nap time, and they still had a diaper at bedtime as well. So I'm not talking about naps here because that's a totally different thing. But for their awake time, get rid of diapers. And it can be tempting to go out, and I am guilty of this too. Okay, we're going to go to the store. I'm going to put a pull-up on you because it's just a little bit scary going out in underwear and you don't know if they're going to pee themselves, especially when you have other children to take care of, and sometimes it's hard to just run them to the bathroom, or if they do wet themselves, where to change them and all that. But really the most effective way with potty training is just underwear all the time. And pull-ups for me, they're not for potty training. Pull-ups are great for my kids for like nap time or bedtime, so that if they have to get up and pee during the night, we can just pull down the pull-up and go pee. They're not wearing diapers. But for during the day, pull-ups, as far as my kids go, I don't think they're any different than wearing a diaper. And so if we're out shopping and I say, okay, you're gonna go, tell me when you have to go to the potty, in a pull-up, they're just like, whatever, they just pee themselves. Tip number 4 is to give motivation. This one is very important too. And whether that is giving them a treat every time they go on a potty, like a candy. We actually did chocolate chips with my son because I'm like, perfect, it's so small. And so if he goes to the bathroom often, he's just getting a chocolate chip. So it's just a tiny treat, but yet they're still so young that can be enough motivation. They don't need a whole big candy. Or for some kids, it might be a little toy. I've seen some people that go to the dollar store and just get a whole bunch of little treats and toys in a basket, and the child gets to pick something out of there when they go to the bathroom. Also, it's just a lot of verbal motivation. And so for me, when my son started going in the potty, we showed him that we were so happy for him. It was like, yay, like applause, and just like, I am so proud of you, you did it. Like he's the star of the household when he was able to go on the potty. And he just absolutely loved that encouragement and applause. And he totally just took that in. So just be super, super positive when they do use the washroom. Our next tip, I'm on my phone looking at my tips here, and I don't even know what number I'm on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 is go naked. With my third child that we are potty training right now, I want to say we potty train him. I wouldn't say he's quite potty trained yet, but we're working on it. And he's our first child that we use the bare bum trick with. And that is to, when you start potty training them, instead of using underwear, have them go naked. So he just wears a shirt. He was running around the house with his lower half naked. And we did that for about 3 or 4 days before we introduced underwear. And that did go very well. I think I would use this method again. And if he was wearing underwear, so like one day we used underwear, it wouldn't really bother him as much to wet his underwear. Whereas when he was naked, he was very much aware of what was coming out of his body, and he hated peeing on the floor and just seeing himself pee on the floor. And so he was very much more aware of having to go pee, and he would just tell us, I got to run to the potty, and he would tell us when he had to go, and that worked well. Tip number 6 is to stay home. I like to potty train my kids over the fall, winter, spring, not over the summer, so a time that we don't really have much to do and not many outings to go to, just to stay home, to really focus on that child and focus on that potty training. So I would choose a week when there's not a lot going on, and I would just stay right there with the child. I even have them stay right about in the same room as me, because all of a sudden they'll go upstairs. You don't see that they have to go to the bathroom. They pee themselves. Whereas when he's in the same room as me, I can see, especially if he has to poo and he's not going to do it in the potty, I can tell right away. So you want to stay close by so that, for one thing, you know what's going on and you know if a mess has been made or what. And number 2, so that they know that you're close by and can ask for help and can go to the washroom. Because my son, even if I'm not in the same room as me, if he's not in the same room as me, might more likely pee himself. Whereas if he's right with me, he would say, oh, I gotta go to the potty. Even though he knows where it is, it's just different when he knows I'm right there to help him. So stay home, stay right close together, and just focus. Just put all your attention towards that potty training for the first few days until you really know that they've got it. So when you're first starting to potty train, I would get your child to go every 15 or 20 minutes to sit on the potty. After they've gone, okay, another 15 minutes later, get them to go again. All kids are different, and you'll get to understand your child quickly. I even have difference in my children, even as they're older now, they're 6 and 4 and 3. A couple of them go every 2 or 3 hours and they can hold it, and that's just, they're fine. My other child will go to the bathroom every hour, like even still. And so you'll get to know your child and how often they have to go to the bathroom, but you want to make sure to beat it at first, to beat it before they go in their underwear on the floor. So just get them to go often, get them to try. I always say, just try. They'll say, I don't have to go to the bathroom. Okay, just try. And after a few seconds of not being able to go, you know, okay, they probably don't have to go, and try again another few minutes. So just get to know your child, I guess, in that respect. So when to wait? When should you wait? Well, I would say to wait until they have, before you quit, wait until they've at least peed once, because the potty can be really intimidating. For a lot of kids, they've never even seen themselves pee. It's always been in a diaper. Some kids, by the time they're potty trained, have never even seen poo. Like, as weird as that sounds, it's true. If it's always in their diaper, you clean it up, they've never even seen it. So it can be a little bit awkward for them and a little bit intimidating to try to be peeing in a potty when they've never done this. So I would say wait till they've gone once. Even when we potty trained my son just now, who we're potty training, his first day, he never peed in the potty once. And of course my thought was like, oh my goodness, should we give up? But I thought, no, I want him to go once so he at least knows what it feels like and at least knows how to do it, at least get over that milestone. and then see how it goes from there. And sure enough, after he went once, he was great. He understood that he had to go. So that could be a turning point. If you try potty training your child and it takes 2 or 3 days, they still haven't even gone in the toilet once, they sit, they try to go, or you think they're trying to go, they sit, they won't go, they stand up, they pee on the floor, and that happens for a few days over. They're just not understanding and they're not really in control of their bodily functions yet. Then you know what? It doesn't hurt to wait a couple more months. And I don't see anything wrong really with them being potty trained past their being ready point. The later you wait, the easier it is. I mean, once they're like, hey, I gotta go in the potty, you really want them to be potty trained, you want to do it. But I would so much rather potty train later than they were ready than before they're ready. Very different story. So I hope that all made sense. I felt like I rambled on and just repeated myself, but anyways, I hope this was a help to you. If you're potty training, let me know any tips you have for potty training if I didn't mention them, and good luck. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.